Alright, so we've created sort of this little title block outline. We have a line here. I'm going to come in and I'm going to insert an image now, which is pretty straightforward. You'll go to the Insert and Image, Import Image. You can use PDFs, but I'm just going to use an image, so I'll click on that. I'll go to my, let's see, my custom library, and let's see if I have in my images, right? Let's do the moon. Okay, and I'll click open, and when it brings it in, it's just going to place it. So it doesn't really matter exactly where you place it. We can move it, but I'll left click, and so once you get the image in, you have very few options in Revit once you get the image in, but I'm just going to move it up into the top right corner. So with it selected, I'm going to go to the move command, pick that point, and pick that point. Sometimes it's a little hard to get it to snap. You have a couple of options there. You can right click and go to snap overrides and pick endpoints, and it'll snap it there. And then I can come in and sort of pick this drag point and drag it, and it will, you know, go to that size. I can also come over here, and if I wanted the width to be 2.5, I can type in 2.5 inches, right, and it'll adjust that. I might have to come in and sort of move it again because it will do it from the center, so I'll move that back to the edge, right? Okay, so that's inserting an image. That should be pretty straightforward. The next thing I want to do is talk a little bit about text and labels. Alright, so just to give you a little idea of where we're going, we did put a line in, and then this is an example of another title block. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put in text, which doesn't change. So this would be like a date title where it says, date, and then the label is like text, but it's actually parametric. So it will read the date that you put in and cascade that through all of the title blocks. Same with the scale. So if you just say scale, obviously that doesn't change. But the label, the scale itself, will read the scale of the view that you place on the sheet and update. And then, of course, the sheet number. So we're going to go in and create this little thing right here. And also, just to give you an idea of sort of where we started with the Revit title block template, and we are now working in the Revit family. And eventually, you'll have a Revit template of your own and use that to start projects with, so you can have sort of a consistent brand or look for your drawings each time. Alright, so let's go ahead and create some text, and then we'll probably come back and create the labels that go along with it. So we're just going to create that scale, the date, scale, and sheet number text down here in the bottom right hand corner. So if you go to the Create tab again, you have a label and text, and again text doesn't change, so that's what we're going to do first, a little easier. I'm going to click on the text, and you're going to see that in your properties dialog box it gives you text note, which is the default text. And so if you go to edit type, that lets you access the parameters that control what this text looks like. So let's go to edit type, and you'll see that it's a color black, the size is set to 1/4 inch, and it's named text note 1. So I would recommend creating your own. And so I'm just going to come in here and rename text note 1, and I'm going to name it CG for Century Gothic, and I'll make it 1/8 of an inch. Alright, and click OK. And so then I'll come in and change the size, so I'll change the size to 1/8 of an inch, and then I'll change the font and click OK. And now it wants me to place that, so I'm just going to come out here and left click, and I'm going to type in date with a colon. Okay, and then I'm just going to take this guy, go to the modify, pick it, and copy it. So if I go to the copy command right here, and I'll copy that down, and we'll just change it, so you can just sort of slowly left click in here and back out, and type in scale. So pretty simple. You can notice the qualities of the text right here. You have the alignment options, you have them up here as well, and if you go to edit type, you have that. Now, these are both the same type, so they're Century Gothic 1/8 of an inch. If I wanted to make it different, I could rename it and say Century Gothic 5/64 of an inch, right? And click OK, and then change the size of it to 5/64 and click OK, and you'll see it update. But don't really want to do that, so I'll Control Z out of that and bring it back. Alright, so we'll stop there, and then when we come back we'll put in labels.